Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. Thanks for joining me. Today is Thursday, May 12th, and I have a special guest over there. You can see her. This is my friend Kim, and you can see that we're wearing matching Liz Perfectly shirts. But surprise, we're not talking about Liz Perfectly. We're actually going to talk about a very hot topic amongst not just resellers, but anyone who's self-employed or owns their own business or is an entrepreneur. And it's an important topic. And I feel like a lot of the influencers kind of avoid addressing this because it's kind of convoluted and there is no blanket answer or blanket way to go about this for any one person. So it's not something that's talked about or videos are made out a lot to help you guys. So I thought, you know what? This is something I've heard Kim talk about, and I've heard other resellers talk about. Why don't we take all the different ways that people have gone about getting health insurance and all the different convoluted things and just talk about it and throw everything out there until something sticks and it may help one of you out there. So the reason I have Kim on is because she recently quit her corporate job and started reselling full-time. Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's actually been a lot longer than just recently, but she is also an admin in the Liz Perfectly group and the Boss Up.
No.
Group expert.
Group expert in the Liz Perfectly group, and in Boss Up, I'm just there.
You're just there.
I'm just there.
You're just there.
I'm just happy to be just there.
She is a group expert. She's very active within the community and on social media. And I've recently seen you make a ton of really lengthy posts explaining about how you went about getting health. I'm not editing that out, folks. How you went about getting your health insurance when you recently became self-employed full-time. Right. And I kept seeing you post these things in all these different reselling groups. And I'm like, she knows what she's talking about. I clearly have insurance. Let's just get together and talk about it. And there's no blanket answer. But before we get into that, like I said, Kim is a friend of mine. She's very prominent in the reselling group. I met her in person in Vegas last year. And she liked me because you guys may remember I lost my voice, so she didn't really get to know me that well. She met me when I couldn't talk.
Baloney.
And she's also a huge supporter of Liz Perfectly.
Woo!
We love our Liz Perfectly. We're both really good friends with Katie and Vicky. We're in their Boss Up group. And she's in my group as well, and you're a group expert in there. So tell us a little bit about how you started doing this full time, like your little story.
Well, it's been probably about 7 years. About 7 years ago is when my corporate job started really going downhill. And, you stick with it. You adjust, you try to make it work. And it was about 3 years ago or so. And, I was like, okay, so I've got to change. Something has to change because it was getting to the point where I was I was just feeling unhealthy mentally and physically. Yes. Miserable. And, so I don't even know how it was, fate or whatever you want to call it, because I was watching just on YouTube, just, looking for something. And I came across this guy he was flipping sneakers. He was, he'd buy sneakers and then flip them. And well, I started watching him. And then it wasn't long after that, he started buying Amazon return pallets. And I couldn't stop watching. It was like, this is so cool. And I thought, I can do that. That's something that I would love to do. And so you know how when you watch something on YouTube, you get something else that comes up and it says, if you like that, you'll like this.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I found you and Vicky and Katie. And, and I started watching you guys and I was just like, I couldn't stop. And then I was like, okay, you know what I'm going to do is and then the next 2 months after that, that's all I did. That's all I did. When I come home from my yucky job, that's what I call it. My yucky job, I would come home and, I would eat or whatever. And then that would be the rest of the day would be my research. I would be online researching. I was watching YouTube videos. I was, that's what I would do to learn, but it also got my mind off of my yucky job.
Yeah.
So it was just a very positive thing all the way through. And so, and I it was one of those things where, over time I was getting more and more where I was like, I want to do this full time. Can I do this full time? And you have all the doubts and all the, but then you go, okay, I'm going to stick with it until my gut tells me that, I can do this full time. And I always trust my gut, and I said it before. It's like, if your gut tells you something, don't ignore it, so I follow my gut. But anyway, so I was, really, I was only part-time doing reselling, and then I was full-time plus at my yucky job. And I came home one day and, sat down to do my research and get on Facebook and do all the, do all my fun stuff that I enjoyed doing, doing all the, and I was on Facebook and I saw where Katie and Vicky had announced that the tickets for Reseller Remix had gone on sale. And I, by then I'm so defeated. I mean, I hate my job. I'm just like, and I just sat there and looked at it and I was like, man, I wish I could go. And then it was like it was weird. It was like a voice said, why can't you? And I was like, I mean, I got chills. I was like, oh my God, exactly. Why can't I? Why?
Yeah.
What's stopping me? I've got vacation built up. This, yucky job. I got vacation built up. I've got, I've got the money. I can do this. I can go. And within 5 minutes of sitting down, I had my ticket to go to the Boss Reseller Remix.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't long after that, I had my airplane tickets, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Vegas, And so that's I won't say that's where it started, but the Vegas Remix is where it all came together.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the meet and greet that evening, I knew it then. It was
Sorry,
like,
something's going on with my hair.
it looks fine.
Like, we went to the meet and greet.
Is it humid there? No.
I don't know. I don't go outside.
I don't either.
There's a world out there.
It might be. I don't have windows. No, I just. But I went to the remix, and I mean, I didn't know anybody. I mean, I had known people from just conversing on Facebook, but I didn't know anybody. And I get off the plane in Las Vegas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really here, But that evening we went to the meet and greet, and it all came together. It was like, I mean, it was such an emotional time for me that evening, because it all came together. And that's when I realized, this is it. This is it. This is
good.
This
My
is
life
the
needs
time.
to be.
Exactly.
These
And
are my people. This
yes.
is my tribe.
And I've literally, I mean, it's a meet and greet, not, all music and dancing and drinks. I was crying, but it was good tears. I mean, it was just a bunch of stuff together, relief, joy, at the people that I found, it's like my tribe. Yes. And it was like, I finally reached that point where my gut was like, yeah, okay. Now it's now, because I've been waiting and waiting, to know when that time was. But I, and I kept going, it's not time yet. Your guts, but anyway, that evening was when it all came together. And, it was just, and I mean, I was, talking to, Diane,
Mm-hmm.
and Trish and Laura. I was talking to them and telling them, about, I don't even know how I got started talking about my job, but I started crying, and they were so supportive. And Diane, she was like, we're going to get you away from that job. And I mean, that the whole time during the remix, she was grabbing me by the arm, taking me and say, come on, we're going to go meet Wade. Come on, we're going to go, and it was amazing. I mean, the support, and it was just, I get emotional just,
the
thinking,
was
oh my
else.
gosh, that was my missing puzzle piece, was going there and finding my people. And then from there, it's like,
we got to tell Katie and Vicky to watch this because they love to hear these stories. I know we're here to talk about health insurance, but it's super important to hear these stories. It's super important to know about this. And if you're able to travel
exactly.
and meet other resellers.
Absolutely.
I have a video coming out later this week where I briefly touch on this topic. And you and I talked before we came on and started recording.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, this is a very lonely job.
Yes.
And you need support. You need friends. You need a water cooler to gather with your friends. And you can be in more than one. Like my go-to groups are the Boss Up, Lives Perfectly, my group. I think that's like the main three that I hang out in.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do Messenger and Instagram, and I talk to people just even on Facebook. You can message people and have video chat.
Exactly.
You
and
can sit and work together. You don't have to talk. You can have somebody you hang out with once a week.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where you go, it doesn't matter how solitary you think you are, which I am. I'm very, very solitary, reclusive type. I mean, I'm like a troll. I'm a troll. I'll tell them I'm a troll, Yeah, sister. No. But yeah. And it's like, but as much as you think you are, you still have to have that support, that camaraderie, that same, the same, you have to be around people that are doing what you're doing because you just do. I mean, anybody that's watching this that does reselling, they know that you have to,
Yeah, and just think of it like if you like to read, chances are you're in reading groups on Facebook. Those are the other groups I hang out in, but they're not reselling related. But I like to talk to other people about the books I read and hear them get excited. I love my Star Wars groups because
yes,
I love to talk with other people who are nerds.
What?
And we can commiserate.
Yo, what's up?
So you guys understand that when you like something or you do something, it's always nice to be around other people who like it and do it as well, because you can talk about what you like, what you don't like, and as far as reselling, what works, what doesn't work.
Yep.
And then once a year, you can go to Vegas and meet everybody in person and have a really good time.
Yes. But also... Aw, he's so cute.
He is so cute. She likes Baby Yoda too, guys. He's so cute. We're like children.
Hey, I never said I grew up. I'll admit that I finally became an adult, but I don't do the grown up thing. I don't like that.
No, it's boring.
It sucks.
But yeah, it is really important to connect with folks and
right. And well, on another level of that too is the fact that you get inspiration and you get ideas. I mean, my goodness, if I hadn't watched your videos, I would not have a clue that I could sell plush. And I found that is like one of my favorite. I love it. I had no idea, and I was like, oh my goodness, this awesome lady on YouTube, she sells plush.
I mean, I have some that I really like. You can see behind me.
Yes.
When I get, sometimes I keep them, the adult Yoda back there.
Yeah.
I'm keeping him. But the sloth and the rabbit, I just really like them so much. So I have those that hang out with me until they sell.
Yes, exactly. It's like you're being rented, but you're going to be moving on soon. Yeah.
They're my friends.
I know it's hard, but sometimes you have to sell your friends.
And maybe this is part of being a reseller and working from home, that you start to make friends with Plush.
Oh yeah. Oh, I talk to myself all the time, and I answer myself.
See, so. I actually just pretend I'm talking to my hamster.
Oh, well, there you go. That's what I need. Well, that's what I need to do with the frogs and the lizards that I'm supposed to get and let loose in my house. So.
Yes.
And you know what? If your viewers are still watching, they're going to be really wondering what in the world we're talking about. So I'm going to get back on subject
She
here.
needs something to talk to, because I can just go in the kitchen and be like, well, I'm just going to take a break from reselling, but I might be doing jeans later on today. I'm going to measure them. What do you think, Ahsoka? And then it's okay that I'm talking.
She's got her cheese,
She's so cute. All right, this is like a live show where you just go off the rails and
yeah. Should we get some poop and plush and see what? Let's see. No.
We did this pre-recorded so that Kim would be comfortable.
You're muted.
I sure was. This is really like a live show, isn't it?
May as well flip it over to live. I mean, it's all over with now.
Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Hello. No, we haven't been drinking. Diet root beer. Yeah. Oh, I love that stuff.
Oh my gosh. Did you try the lemonade ones yet?
Good. No, I haven't. I've done like strawberry. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Oh, there's a black cherry?
There's a peach one.
Maybe it's a peach.
Yeah.
No, there's a black cherry one or something. I just know it's dark purple. I really like it.
Well, they have a lemonade pack. You get 12
yum.
of them for under $10 at Publix. And berry, strawberry, and regular lemonade.
Yum. I love those though.
And Heath won't drink water, but he will drink these. And these are allegedly water.
It is water. It has to be because I don't drink water, but I'll drink those. So
yeah. I'll drink it, but it's not okay. We're still digressing. So this is what happens when weird resellers get together. We're doing this pre-recorded so she would be comfortable. We should have just went live. I think you would have been fine.
It's like we were trying to accommodate Kim here so she wouldn't be nervous, and now she won't shut up.
Now she's not nervous at all.
Yeah.
So you went home from the reseller remix, and then how long did you quit your job?
That is so funny because oh my goodness, right then and there I was, in my mind, I couldn't because I have to be an adult and everything, but in my head I was like, I want to go home right now and quit. I want to put in my notice, but I had to be an adult and think about it, and then I went, okay, what's my best strategy? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I think it was 2 weeks after I got back was when my 22-year anniversary was at my job. So I waited until then to give my notice because because that way I got my bonus and and I also got 4 weeks vacation. At that time, well, I wasn't going to take the vacation, and if you don't take the vacation, you get paid for it. So I ended up leaving with my bonus and my 4 weeks, worth of pay. And I was like, that's why you really need to follow your gut and don't do anything, rash or impulsive. Think it through, because and it's hard. It's so hard. Believe me, I know it's so hard. But in doing the way I did it, I was able to walk out of there with my head held high and know that I did it the right way.
And you had a net.
2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. I got my 2 weeks notice. I gave them my 2 weeks notice. They got their standard, 2 weeks notice. I left there with, my bonus and 4 weeks pay,
But secretly you were.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. And it is, and it is, I don't know how to, you can't sugarcoat it. It's hard, so anybody that's going to do this, just know that it is difficult but you will make it through. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I actually have a video I just did a couple weeks ago on should you quit your job?
I saw that. Yes.
At the end for you guys.
I watched it.
Yeah. There's no real answer, by the way. You just got to watch the video. I give out really good advice on how to prepare yourself and when maybe you shouldn't quit your job.
Yeah.
For a lot of folks, there's more than just themselves. There's kids and things that you got to worry about. Yeah. And health insurance, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
So one of the scary things about becoming self-employed or an entrepreneur owning your own business is insurance. Because most of us that have had jobs outside of the home, you were offered some type of insurance. I always had shitty insurance, which I'm going to talk about. Some people had really great insurance and some people had mid. And then a lot of people don't know how to do it without an employer. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you entered the workforce when you were 15 or 16 and you've been in there your whole life and somebody always handed you a paper, here, sign off on this so we can pull your taxes and sign off on this so you can have health insurance. That's all you know.
Yes.
And without somebody handing you that paper and helping you through it, a lot of people, it seems overwhelming and daunting of a task. Like, oh my gosh, how do I do this
Yes.
on my own without Sally from HR
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
sending
That's
me the paperwork?
exactly. Yep.
So, one of the ways is how Vicky does it.
Hmm.
She goes through a broker, and I'm gonna actually pull up what you texted me, Kim, about what Vicky actually said.
Yeah, that was
So
really nice of her to share that. I
yes, we're
appreciate
giving
it.
her credit. Everyone, Vicky and Katie, go join the Boss Up group. Follow them
Yay!
on YouTube. They are two of
Yep.
the most amazing
They're so
women
genuine.
in reselling and business.
Yes.
And they're generous and they're kind and they're smart.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
successful.
They're
And
genuine too. Very genuine,
yeah,
transparent. I mean,
I just love them both so
me
much I could
too.
squish them.
I know.
And in fact, I get to see them.
That's right. They're coming to visit.
Yes,
Oh,
they're coming
lucky.
down here to Florida.
Lucky.
So I get to see them.
That's
But I'll
awesome.
be in Vegas again in October as well.
Yay,
Okay,
me too.
so I'm just going to read this verbatim because this came straight from Vicky and then Kim typed it out to me. So, a health insurance broker is just like a life insurance or an auto insurance broker. If you have experience with brokers, if you don't, you can absolutely Google and get tons of information. So, what you do is you contact a broker, they take all of your info, and that will include any pre existing health conditions you have, your age, probably your gender and your weight, all of those things that come into effect because unfortunately, your health insurance can go up if you have pre existing conditions, if you have health concerns or health issues. So they'll ask you all that. They will take all that information and they will shop for you. So this broker takes all this information and goes to all the different health insurances and they shop the best rate for you and find you a company that you can do business with. You don't pay the broker. They're independent brokers. You don't pay them. They get some kind of a kickback or percentage from the company that they send you to. So it's free for you to use a broker, and they get their pay another way. So you don't have to worry about paying them, but you don't have to feel like you wasted their time and they work for free either. But they'll find the best for you, and you can contact them every year. In November is open enrollment. Some of you may be familiar with open enrollment from when you were employed, but it's just the time of year when everybody is allowed to go on a free for all. You can change your health insurance, you can get new health insurance. It's a time when you can just make all these changes. So in November, Vicki says she contacts hers every year to make sure she's still on the best plan. So you can then contact your broker every single year and give them any updates on your health and your information and all of that. And they'll reshop for you because maybe something changed with you personally, but maybe rates went down or up with different companies, and they will find you the lowest deductible premium or plan. And if you need specialists, that all comes into account as well. So that is one way you can do it. You can use a broker, but you'll have to Google brokers specific to you because Kim said it's different in every state. Like the information out there is overwhelming if you're just like generic insurance brokers.
Yeah.
But if she looks specifically in Kansas or I look specifically in Florida, we would be able to find a broker in our area that we could work with.
Yep.
So that's one way. The other way is the marketplace, which there's going to be a link down below for you guys. And I'll let Kim talk about the marketplace.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying, it's overwhelming. Well, you feel overwhelmed anyway. It's like before I, quit my job, I actually stayed with it longer than I wanted to because I was scared. Like you said, it's like, for how many ever years you've been in the work environment, all that's been done for you. You've not had to go and search for this. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Well, once you get to looking, it's not as bad as you initially. It's
You've
not at
always done your own
all.
car insurance and
Exactly.
insurance and home insurance.
Yes.
It's the same thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's just an unknown for so many people. And when you approach the unknown, of course it's, it's daunting. But
True. Change
it
of
is.
plans.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I just started with Google,
Mhm.
and it was one of those things where another thing I thought, I was scared because I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? I mean, that's another thing you always hear. Oh, it's so expensive to go get your own insurance, and that depends on a lot of factors too. But you just do your research, and once you start getting information, you start feeling more at ease.
Mhm.
But I went to the marketplace. That was the first step, that I the first place that I went to. And it's super easy to fill out your information just to
Mhm.
see what you qualify for. You can go through any of your information, and they will tell you, okay, these are the plans that you can get. This is how much, you will have to pay, blah blah blah, whatever. But the thing is, it also depends. If you fall in certain income brackets, you can receive uh, tax credits for your insurance
Mhm.
that you're getting. And that's I was like, whoa, wow, see, this stuff I just didn't know.
Mhm.
Well, it and especially me just starting out full time as a reseller. I'll be honest, my income isn't where I hope that it will be later. So my income being what it is now, I don't have to pay very much at all for insurance. That's one of those things. You don't want to strive for that. It's like, hey, I'm not making any money, so I don't have to pay insurance. You don't,
No, you want to have expensive health insurance, and you want to be paying a lot in
yeah,
taxes. That's when you
yeah,
really
yes,
when you're handing
exactly,
over a huge check every year to the
exactly,
IRS. You made
yes,
it.
yay. But I mean, and I have went in even, just to see what if I'm start making this
Mhm.
much per year. How much will I have to pay? And I went in and you can go in and do that. You can go, okay, well, I'm making this much now, but what if I'm making, this much? Well, and I've done
Yeah,
that. And it's like,
not that
wow,
bad.
it's not that bad.
It's not, and they lay everything side by side. So when I picked mine out, um, I have a lot of prescriptions that I have to take, and
Yeah.
I got to look side by side. This one might cost this much a month, but all the prescriptions on this plan are free.
Yes.
This one's cheaper monthly, but for someone like me, it actually came out more because I'm paying for prescriptions. But if you're someone
Hmm.
like Heath, who never gets sick, never has allergies, never goes to the doctor, never gets hurt,
Ah,
yeah,
how dare he?
he's so healthy. I think I've seen him get hurt once in the 20 years I've known him.
Wow.
Someone like him, you know, would probably get the low, low, low one. And then if he had to visit a hospital or get medication, his copay or his cost part would be higher.
Yeah.
So it's all up to you. You can choose it, but the marketplace will show you, like you said, all your different plans that you can get, and you
Yeah.
can compare them side by side
Yep.
based on what you need. Do you need something with cheap prescriptions, or are you someone that never takes medication and never really needs the doctor?
Right.
Do you need eyeballs? Do you
Yeah.
need teeth? You got to take all of this into account.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll be very honest, and I told you this before we came on. What I pay for my health insurance now is less than I used to when I had a job. And that was always the joke. I
That's so
worked in the healthcare
crazy.
field. The joke in the healthcare field was we had the worst health insurance. I have worked in numerous nursing homes and within agencies taking care of people in their homes. And we always had the worst. Just it was expensive and your copays were high, and then God forbid you wanted to add your kids or your
Oh my
spouse. It was just
goodness. That's
um
ridiculous.
there was one nursing home very briefly that had no payment. So like the employees were covered for free.
Hmm.
And so we got health insurance for free. And then I added my kids and this and that. And that lasted for 6 months. And then they had this meeting where
Oh no.
the insurance company that was offering them their discount or their deal wasn't offering it anymore. So they had to do what we're talking about. And that's what your employers do, by the way. That's
Mm-hmm.
all they do is what we're talking about, but on a larger scale. So they
Yep.
have people within their human resources department or somewhere within their company
Mm-hmm.
that goes out in shops.
Yeah.
And they'll call 15 different places and say, all right, what can you offer us? What kind of discounts? I have X amount of employees I want to cover.
Yeah.
And whoever gives them the best deal is what they come to their employees with.
Yep.
For some reason, I guess nobody wanted to cover healthcare workers. I've had it through my jobs, but it was always so expensive.
Like the people that really, really, really need it, you know, that really need it, don't get it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's the way it always goes.
We should probably know how to take care of ourselves better. I guess.
There you go. You don't need it. I mean, you just, you know, it's like, oh well, I can give myself my own shots. And
yeah, my friend's a nurse. It's cool.
Yeah, we're just gonna go in the back alley and.
But yeah. So what I pay now, it's less than a lot of my jobs and comparable to most.
Yes.
And it works for me. And come November, you better believe I'm going to see if I can find something better, because that's the freedom of the open enrollment.
Exactly. And you have the power to do it because you've done your research. You're in that, you know, you're in that place now that everybody else will be when they eventually take that step and you know, go and learn about it, and then they'll be comfortable, and it's not going to be any problem at all. They're going to go out there and be like, oh yeah, I can do this. You will.
Easy. Like, yes. It's literally so step by step. The marketplace website will literally hold your hand through the whole process.
Yeah.
Easy. You just answer questions and fill out forms, and then you compare stuff. The only thing I would advise to be careful with, if you already have an established PCP or primary care physician that you like a lot, and then you leave your job and now you're getting your own insurance, make sure that they take whatever insurance you're switching to.
Yes.
Because you don't want to have to switch doctors.
And you can check that while you're in there in the website. You can check that while you're comparing. While you're comparing your plans, you can go into each one and do searches.
You can see which PCPs, which hospitals, which specialists. So if you have like an allergy specialist or a dermatologist or someone that you really like that's been seeing you, you can see which plans they're on. You can stay with your same PCP. You can stay with your same pharmacy. You just got to be able to. You have to be willing to do the research. But be careful of that. Don't get excited and go, oh, hey, this is the cheapest one and it works for me. And then find out you got to switch to the doctor you've had for 20 years.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah. I mean, we had just moved to Florida. That's the other point. So you don't have to wait for open enrollment.
That's right.
If you quit your job and you start reselling in January or February, there's a special exemption in the marketplace. We'll walk you through it, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I did. And you know, that's something else I want to bring up in a bit. But if you have a life change, you know, that qualifies, and that does qualify, you can go in and you can do a special enrollment. You don't have to wait. Like, say you decide you want to go, I'm going to go full-time reselling in August. You don't have to wait until November to get your coverage.
Yeah, you don't have to without health insurance.
Right. Exactly.
It's just called a special. Well, I had to do it when I moved here.
Yes.
So when I first started reselling, I did it in Pennsylvania. And then when we moved to Florida, I went under the special because my insurance back in Pennsylvania was specific to the whatever they're called. You know, they have like one company that owns every hospital.
Regions.
Yeah, the region or the whatever they are.
Network. No, I don't know.
Network, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So there's like a network of healthcare in Pennsylvania, and they owned like all the hospitals and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's one here, which I'm really happy with. Actually, I've had such good experiences in Florida with doctors and hospitals. They're just so much kinder here. I don't know why. Maybe in Pittsburgh they were just tired of our shit, but
no, they didn't like the snow either.
I mean, even with my son, he just turned 18 yesterday.
Oh,
my youngest.
Happy birthday, son!
But when he was 10, he had appendicitis.
Oh.
And I rushed him to the ER, and this nurse was just like no bedside manner at all. He was like, he thought he had pandicitis.
Oh, poor baby.
So he brought his stuffed panda with him. He's like, me and my panda have situs.
Oh.
It was really cute. But she had to take his blood, and she started at him with this needle. And he's 10. And he's like, no. And she was like, I need it.
Oh,
Like a vampire. She just was really rough with him. So when the doctor came in, I said, is there any chance you could just transfer us to they have a really good children's hospital in Pittsburgh, a really great one. I've been donating there ever since this, because as soon as he got transferred, their demeanor, but I mean, they're used to working with children.
Right.
So his Panda also had an IV. She went through surgery as well. They stitched her up.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, they went above and beyond. There was like a extra bed in the room to sleep for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's like awesome. A whole side story, but I don't know if it's it could be the network, because I can tell you from working in healthcare in 3 different states and many different nursing homes and stuff, depending on who your employer is, how much money you make, how they treat you can make a difference. I'm not saying that nurses and doctors should be assholes to us if they have a bad job or a bad employer, but it can happen if they're really overworked, stressed out, if they don't have good benefits, if they're not getting paid.
Yep, that's true.
So maybe they're just treated better here.
I don't know. People just they're more happy being in the sunshine. They don't want to be out there in the snow.
Live where you vacation.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you know everything went smoothly and that you're in a good spot with that, because it's so important. So important.
And it was so easy, guys. I just went on. I claimed a special life change. Mm-hmm. I moved from one state to the next. Yep. Oh, okay. Well, what did you have there? I had to like fill out some forms, answer some questions, do some comparison, and I didn't have any particular PCP or anything I wanted to keep because I was new to the state.
Yeah.
So I just kept it to the area where we lived. And
well, see, that's something else. That's another thing. I did not know this until I started my research. If you are a member of one of the nationally recognized Native American Indian tribes or an Alaskan Native, you can qualify for health insurance where you don't have to pay any out of pocket. You don't have no deductibles, no copays, nothing. And I'm actually part Cherokee Indian, so I qualified for that. So I have insurance that I don't have to pay copays. I don't have to pay. I mean, and I would not have known this unless I had started looking. And, when you start, clawing away at the unknown, and you start learning, and you start, finding out, that it's not so bad, and you really do. You start finding out things that you're like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah, it's actually pretty. And I'm wondering, why didn't I do a video on this sooner? I've actually been doing this since I got hurt in 2017.
Yeah.
And now I was still covered from my ex-employer for a couple of years while I had to sue them. Long story. You know how that goes. But then when that was done and I did it myself, I was all worried. I'm like, Keith, you better come sit with me and help me walk through this. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even need your help. This is so easy. And when we moved to Florida, I was like, this is even easier because you're really just telling them, hey, I moved to a different state.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff the kind of coverage I had back here. They'll find you similar. And I'm like, why haven't I done a video about this? Like, I guess because to me, it seems like it's so overwhelming to so many people. I didn't know how to sit down and explain it in a way that made sense.
Yeah. Well, and
we're still not telling you exactly how to do it or walking you through it because it's not a blanket answer or experience for everybody. Some people have diabetes. Some people have high blood pressure. Some people have asthma and need inhalers. Some people are absolutely healthy. Some people are unfortunately unhealthy and need lots of medication and doctor's visits. And that all comes into play with what type of health insurance you're going to get and how much they're going to charge you. Also, do you have a spouse? Do you have kids? Everybody's situation and family is different. So I can't tell you, go on the marketplace and get this one because that's great. Because it's not good for Kim.
Yeah.
What's good for Kim isn't good for Vicky. And that's probably not the same that Katie had. So
very individualized, but it's not
very individualized.
scary.
It goes off of your income, your health, and then you have to decide, are you covering your family? And that situation can be different. Some people have a husband or a wife that still works outside of the home and can cover the kids while you just cover yourself.
Right.
You might be a single parent who needs to cover your kids. You might be single yourself and not have kids.
Yep.
So everyone's situation is so unique. All we can tell you is you can search for a broker to do. Basically, if you don't want to do any of this yourself and you're the kind of person that wants someone else to do your stuff for you, you can have a broker do it, or you can just go on the marketplace and do it yourself. But it's not hard. And then there's a third way you can do it. You can just call them, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I have heard of other resellers that they just call an insurance company directly. And I don't have any experience with that, but I have heard of other resellers actually getting really good deals that way. They go and they explain their situation. They say, this is what I was covered with before, blah, 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 whatever. And they can work with you directly if that's, what you prefer to do. There's more than one option out there. So, don't, I guess my big thing is just, to tell people, don't let it hold you back from doing what you need and want to do for yourself. Don't because it can be so scary that it keeps you from doing what you want and need to do. And it's not something that it doesn't need to be that way, because it's, both of us, you and I both can tell everybody that once you start digging, it's not
it's
it's not scary. Yeah. And like
sorry.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say no, like you said, they walk you through. You think, oh no, it's a government site, but believe it or not, it's actually very easy, intuitive, and it literally does walk you through. I mean, it says, okay,
this down to what state you're in, and this is the hospitals, and this is the doctors that you'll have.
And the pages, it says, okay, this next page, when you click down at the bottom, these are the questions we're going to ask you. I mean, then you click, okay. So then it takes you, then you answer it's so easy. And
it's super easy. And I was just going to say the two biggest reasons I hear people won't or don't quit their jobs or leave their jobs is the insurance and the 401ks.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There is no amount of health insurance in this world and no amount of 401ks that are worth anyone being in a toxic environment, mentally unhealthy, or miserable. If you're in a job that you just don't like, then you probably should stay there.
Yes.
Until you have again, I'll have that video pop up. But you got to have certain things in place before you quit your job. You can't just be, well, I'm mad today, so I'm out. Yeah. Like Ross and Friends.
Bob made me mad. He, he flipped the burgers wrong, and I'm just like, nope, I'm done. No,
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, Bob's.
But if you are seriously unhappy in your job and you're miserable, or even if you're just ready for a change and you have a savings account saved up and you have your stores built up and you're good at reselling, and the only thing holding you back is the 401k and the health insurance. 401ks is a whole other topic, but those are something you can get on your own as well.
We could do a video on that too.
You can do your own investments. I would advise to stay away from the stock market right now.
No kidding.
That's some bad news right now. And I'm not one to really give out advice on stocks and stuff. But I can say that Keith and I have investments.
Yep.
So we will have our retirement. I kept my 401k for my old job, honestly, and I just you can do that. I don't know that people know you can do that.
Yeah.
You can keep your 401k and bring it with you.
Yep.
And then instead of it coming out of your paycheck, you pay in whatever you want.
Exactly.
You got to work it out with them.
Yeah.
You could pay $5 a month, $20 a month.
It's not. That's another thing that is scary, but it's not, because I went through that too. Mm-hmm. Just transferring your 401k to a financial, I mean, I've had a financial advisor for several years. So I was able to, and even if you don't have one, that's not a problem. They're everywhere, and you can just go and talk. I didn't have one.
I just called them and said, here's the deal. I got hurt on the job and they're not going to give me light duty work. and so I'm going to be self-employed now, and just discuss with them on the phone, do I need to cash it out, or can I keep it? And how can I keep it, and what can I do? Some places may tell you have to cash it out. Okay, so cash it out and get a different company. Get a financial
one of them there things.
One of them there things. Get a financial advisor. But there are ways to save for retirement.
Yep.
And have health care without working for somebody else.
Yep. Absolutely.
We can do anything we used to do, except we're happier. We have freedom. We make our own hours. We have fun.
Yes.
We have fun.
You're not you're not tied down to, well, I mean, you have to have your own schedule, of course, to get your work done, but it's not, like I was telling you earlier, I would, at my other job that was yucky, I'll call it the yucky job, I worked there 9-10 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I was miserable. But doing what I do now, I can work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I love it. It's different. It's just different.
It's different because you're in your house.
Yes.
You're yourself. And like sometimes I'll take and work a Sunday. I like to take my weekends off. But if I know I have a busy week coming up, I'll grab 40 pairs of jeans and I plop myself down here in the office in front of my table and I turn a movie on.
Exactly. I
can sit here and watch horror movies or true crime. And is it an ideal way to spend a Sunday?
Yes.
I mean,
no.
Look, I'm getting to watch my horror movies and my true crime.
I know.
I'm getting jeans measured and photographed so that I am set for the week.
Exactly.
It's just so different. And like you can listen to music and watch your shows, and you can take your lunch break when you want, not when someone else tells you. You can go to the bathroom when you want. No more dancing in your seat at your job. Like, I got a piece so bad, but I'm not allowed to go until
well, the
you
politics.
Can eat and drink at your desk. No politics.
No politics.
Drama.
No backstabbing. Any backstabbing that goes on is something you're going to do to yourself because.
Well, there's backstabbing that goes on, but you can.
Yeah.
I just avoid all.
Exactly. You muted.
I sure did.
So you're supposed to mute the guest. When the guest won't shut up, that's it. You're supposed to mute the guest.
It's this hole.
That button there, that one right there.
The place you put the plug in. I always call it a hole.
Oh. Well, that's what it is. I mean, what else are you gonna call it?
It goes in and I don't know. Anyway,
but
working from home is just so different. Like, and I actually break my days up. So when I go to lunch, I take an hour for lunch, and I read my book that I'm currently reading, and take my time. And then I got to come in after dinner, after we clean up and do the dishes. I got to come in and maybe do another hour's worth of work. Yeah. But that's okay because I got to take an hour lunch and read.
Exactly. And you got to do it when you wanted to. But you're still getting done what you need to get done, but you're doing it in such a different environment that, it was like it took me 3 months before I could wake up in the morning and not have that horrible dreaded feeling in the pit of my stomach. 3 months after I quit my other job, and I thought, is this ever going to go away? And I woke up one morning and it wasn't there. And it's like,
and you're excited. I literally cannot wait to get to work every day.
I know. I'm the same way. I wake up and I'm like, I mean, I
love to, and so I do a whole big portion of, I should do a video on my actual schedule and my routine. Because I'm always telling people you need a routine, you need a schedule, but I never tell you mine. But I do this whole big portion of work in the morning in my pajamas before I even take my shower. I brush my teeth and then I wash my face in the morning first thing. Yep. Maybe I put a bra on. Depends on how I feel. I mean, I got some big old bitties.
I guess
give myself black eyes walking into the office.
Just don't do Zumba until
But yeah, I brush my teeth and wash my face and take my vitamins, and then I get a nice coffee and I do a whole chunk of computer work in the morning, and then we do our shipping. Then I take my shower, then I eat lunch, and then I do so like
Yeah.
you can split it up like that, and it's just I spent so many years where you had to get out of bed when the alarm went off, jump in the shower right away first thing, and get ready and go boom to the job. That now it's like, you know what? I want to work in my pajamas for a little while.
Yes.
I want to take my time waking up. I want to drink my coffee.
Mhm.
And that's the perfect time to do the computer work
Yes.
and the shipping.
Yep.
And then you can have your shower. But I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, it's very individual, and you know, a lot of people they'll have a different different routine. You know, a couple days they'll do it this way, a couple days, you know, it just depends. Whatever works for you. There's no wrong way as long as you get done what you need to get done.
Which is why you need a bullet journal.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Get on Amazon and use one of Star's affiliate links and get you a bullet journal.
I just put one in my group today for a $6 bullet journal, you guys.
Oh,
hardcover.
I need to see that.
It's a hardcover. It's Amazon branded, and it has the little ribbon to mark your spot, like this one.
Nice.
It was plain black, but it was like $6 and some change, and I'm
That's
like,
cheap.
I have got to show this to you guys.
That's
It's 200
cheap.
some pages, so you'll have to get another one soon.
You can put stickers on the front.
Yeah, it does.
Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah.
Box lady. This
I
is
like
last
it.
year.
Oh my goodness. That's cute.
This is last year's, but when I
Wow.
switched to this year's, I got a special one for Christmas from Heath. This is one that was actually meant for bookworms.
Oh wow.
And it has challenges for book reading where you keep track of the books you read. Yes, I read a lot.
That is awesome.
And it actually has your months filled out and just pages to talk about your reviews of your books and stuff. So it's really
That's
pretty.
Nice.
It's cute. It's very specialized.
Well, and see
But normally I get these blank ones.
Yeah, those are nice though. And you know, something like that when they're full, what an awesome thing that you can go back later. It's like a memory book.
I keep them all.
You know, yes.
They're in my garage in a bin, and then
so
I
cool.
put like labels on the side, like April 2020 through May 2021, however long it took.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to do bullet journals yourself. I have actual videos on how to do that.
Oh
You
wow.
can make your own calendars. Make sure I don't tell you anything I don't want y'all to see.
This is my bullet journal. Post-its.
See, like I have our
terrible.
date night on there.
Oh, look at the popcorn. Oh, how cute.
Yeah, I love stickers too.
Awesome.
And haircuts. And I put make
Oh,
no
man.
other appointments. I guess we really needed haircuts. This was
See, at least you go and actually get your hair cut. You know, you
this
don't
was
stand
March
in
of
the bathroom
2020.
and
So here we are in
That's so
April doing our
neat.
taxes.
oh gosh. It's like a diary. Only
It
a
is
lot,
a
only
bullet
better.
journal is a planner and diary. I keep track of everything. Let me see if I can find you something else that I do in here.
That's neat.
I get so excited when I talk about my bullet journals. I have my morning
cool.
routine written in
Oh
there.
my goodness.
I have lists of what I want to film.
Wow.
So since this one still has some room, I still use this one
Yeah.
for stuff. And then I have this year's, and then I also have my
That's I'm terrible. That's all I have is like, notebooks, like just plain old steno notebooks and post-its. That's all.
Better than not having anything. And
I guess, but
I have those too, and I fold mine so I know where I'm at.
oh, cool. See, I didn't do that. Mine's mine's blank. No. Here's
this is for my grocery list and the measurements I take, and just notes and stuff. And then you can origami it, and then I did that back in middle school, and I still do it when I'm in my 40s.
That is cool though.
So, and I have color-coded pens and stickers, and you can have fun with it, or you can just write a list.
Well,
you can be as little or as much creative as you want to be with these things.
Well, that's what I do. That's something that I've done since I started full time is the first thing I do when I know once I'm getting better at not having to make a list, but in the beginning, especially, that's the first thing I would do is I'd get up, get my coffee and I'd get my steno and I'd be like, okay. Or sometimes I do it the night before and write down, what are my goals for today? What do I need to do? How many do I want to list?
Well,
How
you
many,
have to, because if you don't, you'll have no, because when you worked outside of the house, you were on a schedule, you had a boss, you had a supervisor, you had people breathing down your neck.
Yep. There was
now
structure.
You have to be your own boss and you have to give yourself your own structure. Yep. And I've even got making sure there's nothing. Making sure that there's nothing. There is something. Let's see.
Oh wow.
See, and these are all the videos we did today. But it is like a diary. So whenever I show it on camera, I'm like, you try to write anything on it, to know. But I put when to pay my bills. I put movies I've watched, where we eat out, my menus, my menu plans, my daily chores. Bullet journals can be anything you want to be, but they can be everything too.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
I love them. So we have kept these people here for an hour. If they're even still watching.
So they better be. We're trying to teach them something.
What are we teaching them?
We're teaching you how to keep the bugs at bay with frogs and lizards and
no, how to not look crazy by talking to your pets.
Oh.
But
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
Well, you can talk to stuffed animals too.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
They count. All right. So the marketplace website's down below. It literally holds your hand and walks you through it. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the comment section below. And if it's something I don't know, I'll ask Kim and she'll come in and answer it. Or just go on the Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. If you're not a member, you should be. And you can ask her questions in there. You can tag me or you can tag her. She is a group expert in there. You can ask her about List Perfectly and other stuff too. She knows a lot about a lot.
Well, I don't know about that, but if I don't know the answer, I'll find it for you.
Yes. And you do know a lot about List Perfectly. Between you and Liz, I don't know who's more the expert.
Oh, Liz, definitely.
Yeah, I learned everything I know from Liz, but so join my Facebook group, leave questions, comments, concerns, tag me or Kim in the Facebook group. Also join Boss Up, BOSS, Boss Up Reseller Group. You can search for it. That's Katie and Vicky's group. And there's a lot of veteran sellers in there that can help you out with List Perfectly and insurance and finances and 401ks. Just so much information in there. I think I'm having a brain fart. Teresa Cox. Yes. I wanted to call her Teresa Fox. Oh. And that's why I was like, wait a minute, why am I brain farting on her last name?
She'd probably be okay with that.
I know Teresa personally.
I do that. It's like,
maybe it's just like my YouTube censor saying I can't say Cox.
There you go.
But Teresa's in there and she's really good with math and numbers. So the Boss Up group, join the List Perfectly group. That's got everyone in there that's an expert on List Perfectly. Liz and Clara is very responsive. She's the original founder and CEO, or half of it. The other half is Amanda. But Clara is really responsive and answers questions, and she does videos and stuff. So those are the 3 groups you need to join. You can follow Kim on Instagram. It's in the description box. Follow her. I'm on there too, but who cares? And she cared. Also, she's not Kim Rose on Facebook, but I put her Facebook name down there. So if you do want to go in the groups and tag her or talk to her, you know who you're looking for. And I guess that's it. Other than hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, please. Help us feed all hungry hippo and hungry baby Yodas. And go be productive, go make some money, go get some health insurance. And do you have anything you want to say before we sign off?
Thank you very much for having me on, and I've had a blast.
It was fun.
Yes.
See, bye.
Bye.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.